has a really, really good philosophical and operational understanding of the difference between governing and managing. I think his experience shows that, and he certainly demonstrated that on the PTO Council. Research shows that new superintendents who show up on July 1st, when there's board turnover the following November, dramatic board turnover, which there will be, regardless of who gets elected, when you end up having a board that isn't made up with the people who actually voted to hire you, when you have fewer of those people, it diminishes the likelihood of success, or at the very least makes the transition much harder. And I think Haroldo is someone who can facilitate that transition and take his cue from people who did support the hiring of Dr. Edmowski. The second thing that I think Haroldo brings to the table is, while he's had a lot of involvement in the public schools, he doesn't bring existing loyalties or relationships that I believe, and I'm saying that as a retired school administrator and a retired school teacher who in fact would never think of running for the Board of Education, because I think the roles were, it's very hard to flip from one side to the other. So I think the absence of existing loyalties, relationships, or insider views is, in my view, an asset. And the third reason I would like to nominate Haroldo is his terrific combination of both heart and mind. Haroldo and I found our children, his son is a few years younger than my daughter, in a class with a struggling teacher who, in the end, needed to be terminated. And we didn't know each other very well at that time. And we had a conversation privately about whether we should just do what all the other parents in our position did, which is just get our kid out of that class. And instead, Haroldo and I supported each other in advocating, because we know that the Norwalk Public Schools are only as good as they are for all children, whether they have a parent there to advocate or a mentor to advocate. And so we went through the appropriate channels and held the school system accountable for the evaluation of a teacher who ultimately did leave. And it wasn't just for Omar or for Sarah, it was for all children. And that's the heart he brings to the table. The mind he brings to the table, while his resume, and I killed a few trees in case people didn't want to print it out, is all about like Deloitte and Vanguard and Oppenheimer and like all this corporate, he's not Brian Meek. Brian Meek has a swelled head and a big, I shouldn't say that. Brian Meek is very quick to tell all of us publicly how much more he knows because of his business mind and his business background. And while Haroldo has a business mind and a business background, it's tempered by a heart and a deep understanding of people that you get the skills without the ego. So that's where I'm sitting. Very good.
Thank you.
Mark?
I second the nomination. I'd like to speak to it. I had the opportunity to do some vigorous campaigning in District D with Haroldo. I've had an opportunity to really get to know him over the past couple of years. I did go to school with his kids. I thought I went to school with everybody's kids. So I know one of them being a judge today, and we go to school with him. But I think Haroldo brings, as he states in his resume, he was raised in a multicultural, multi-ethnic country. I think he understands what's needed at the Board of Education level within our city, and I think he brings a wealth of knowledge and background and perspective. His resume speaks for itself with all his experience. But I think he really truly cares. He's sensible. He always has had a good opinion or perspective on issues that face our city, whether it be on the Board of Education side, whether it be in district or on, from a just city perspective. I'm happy to see him running again, like Nick. I think it's excellent that you are giving another shot. I know he's analyzed some of the numbers in the district, and I think we should definitely get behind his candidacy.
I'd like to say
Thank you, Warren.
another thing about Haroldo, if I may. I don't know